Hello everyone! Today I'm going to make some Christmas tags with an interactive element. You can attach this kind of tag to your Christmas gift or split it into a pocket and use it to hold a gift card. That way that tag itself becomes part of the gift packaging. And of course, you can take the idea wherever your imagination leads you. For the base, I'm using these regular black tags from Graphic 45. And of course, I'll be working with the brand new desk, the whole collection. You'll only need the 8x8 paper or 12x12 paper pad for this project, but I'll also maybe use the 8.5x11 patterns and solid pack just in case I want some extra background sheets. For embellishment, I've prepared pieces from the same collection. The ephemera set, chipboard pieces, frames and tags, and ribbon transfer set. I've also picked out some matching ribbons because what the tag without ribbons? Right? I'm not sure yet which ones I'll be using, but I've already chosen a few colors that will work perfectly. And finally, I add some extra Christmas embellishment. I'm not sure exactly which ones yet, but I do know what I want to include a little jingle bells to make it feel truly festive. I also need a tag die from Graphic 45 for our tag and one of the circle die sets for our mechanism. And if you want to make a pocket on the back of your tag to hold a message or a gift card, for example, you can use one of those slot dies that cut a little opening. First, we need to choose the backgrounds for our tags. I'm going to make 3 tags, so I'll need 6 background pieces in total. And each tag will have its own color. I'm planning to make 1 red, 1 green, and 1 blue. So, here are the pieces I've cut out for my tags. This one will go on the front side of the tag, and the one with the slot will go on the back here. On the front, I'm going to glue the piece completely, covering the whole surface. But on the back, I'll apply glue only around the edges and here. So it creates a pocket. Let's go ahead and attach our pieces to the tags. Now let's move on to assembling our mechanism. First, I've cut out 3 circles of different size. I choose the largest one so that it would fit nicely on my tag. And then I simply picked 2 smaller dies from the same set. That way I ended up with 3 circles in different diameters. Using the same dies, we now need to cut 3 more pieces like this. I'll show you how to make the one of them as an example, so other 2 are made the same way, just with different die sizes. And I'll use some green cardstock, so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. First, I take a piece of cardstock that's large enough to fit your die twice. Score a fold line in the center and fold it like this. Now we are going to cut out the shape. We need to cut a circle, but not all the way through. Make sure the die slightly extends beyond the folder edge of your cardstock. At the same time, we need to leave enough space here so that the smaller circle will fit nicely later, this way. Watch what I'm doing. I'm measuring how it should go, positioning the die on the cardstock, and then I secure my die on the cardstock. Now I need to run it through my die cutting machine. So this is what our piece looks like now. Next we'll need a scoring board. Place the piece on the board like this. And score a line roughly through the middle of this section, but make sure that this side is just a little bit shorter than the other side. Here is, for example, our 3 inches. Here is 3 1/8. So I'm measuring 1.5 of the inch and make my score line, making my score line here. So this part is slightly shorter than this one. Okay. And now we'll do the same steps using the 2 smaller dies. When cutting the smaller piece, when cutting the smallest piece, since we don't have anything smaller to compare it with, I just eyeball the size so that it looks proportionate to the previous one. Now we are going to glue all the pieces together. First, I'm taking these 3 pieces. and I'm going to glue them so that all the score lines, okay, that all the score lines are parallel to each other, and make sure that the bottom edge of all three pieces line up perfectly at the lowest point. And now I'm going to adhere the corresponding circle to their pieces. Here is how we do it. I'm applying glue only up to the score lines here and attach the first circle. Then I'm taking the smaller one and do the same thing. I'm applying glue here and stick it down. And the last circle, repeat the same process. I'm applying glue only here in this area and attach it. Now we need to add magnets so that our mechanism stays securely closed and also hold nicely when it open. Okay. I'm attaching the first magnet right here. And then I'm placing the second magnet on top of the first one so they connect. Applying a bit glue and attach it in place just like that. Now I'm placing the third magnet right here, applying some glue and sticking it down as well. And on this side, I just need to attach the last magnet. It's going to be positioned at very bottom. I simply apply some glue. I'm applying some glue and let it snap into place. It will settle exactly where it needs to be. However, I'll need one more magnet right here, so that's when the mechanism is open. open. The first layer, this one, holds in place a bit better and doesn't stiff around. This extra magnet will help the whole structure stay open more securely and neatly. Okay, let's glue it. Now let's cover our mechanism with patterned paper. Using the same circle dies, I've cut out 3 circles of the corresponding size from my background sheet. I'm going to use these circles to cover the back side of each layer. Let's start with this one. I need to attach the paper so that it doesn't cover the score line. To do that, I measure this section and then trim the circle accordingly, cutting off just enough to make it fit perfectly. And I'm attaching the trimmed piece right into its place. Now I'm placing the remaining part of this circle and mark how much I need to trim. I need to trim here and here. Here and here. Okay. And I'm gluing this piece here. I'm doing the same to cover the back sides of this circle and this one. The back sides are done. This is how it looks now. And it's time to decorate the front sides. For the top layer, I choose a die slightly smaller than our circle. This is from a different set. And I've cut out the piece I need from a sheet, from scrapbook paper sheet. And now I'm going to adhere it in place this way. On the next layer, I'm attaching the piece I've cut out with this die. It's exactly the same size as the circle itself, so it will cover the entire surface completely. Okay. On the third layer, I'm also gluing down a piece that will cover the entire surface. of the circle. And on the final layer, I'm attaching a piece that is slightly smaller than our smallest circle. I've cut it out using this die. And we also need to trim off a little excess from this piece. And now we can attach the entire mechanism to the tag. And we can move on to decoration our tag. First, I want to attach this border piece right here at the bottom. But before that, I need to trim it down a little so it fits perfectly in size. On the top layer, we can add the most dimensional embellishments since they won't interfere with anything in the mechanism. I've prepared some die cuts for each of the tags and of course a few pieces from the chipboard set and the ephemera pack. On the next layer, we need to keep the embellishments as flat as possible. I'm again using pieces from the ephemera pack and some die cuts. On the third layer, I'll place the photo and I'll cut it out using the same die I used for the smallest circle on the bottom layer. I choose a photo of my daughter because these tags will be attached to Christmas gifts for her grandparents. On the final layer, we need to place an element that will fix the layer above here. And I'm using stickers from the Tim Holtz sticker book for this. I'll pick the most suitable one and to make it taller and easier to fix the circle, I'll glue it on black cardstock first. This is what the finished mechanism looks like. There is just a few final touches left and our tag will be ready. First I want to decorate the back of the tag. I've cut some borders from the leftover sheet and plan to glue them like this. I've also cut some small cards from another sheet and one of them I'll place in the pocket on the back. I can write a message on it and position it here. Now all that's left is add the ribbons. I also want to add jingle bells. That's make a festive sound, bringing that holiday spirit to the tag. A couple of bells will be attached directly to the ribbons. And finally, my tag is complete. I made the other two tags using the same method, using the same way, and here is the final set. I think they look really cute and festive. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed creating along with me. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you would like to see more craft projects. Happy crafting and see you soon. Bye!